Hey y'all, I heard a story a long time ago about a city of gold. A metro utopia. A place where Mexicans and Jews lived in harmony. A place where if you were going to jork it, you would be immortalized by a volcanic eruption. In this utopia, you did not need to jump in a shiny metal death trap every time you needed to go to the dentist. You could actually bend your legs at the knees, rouse your failing brain into consciousness, and extend one foot in front of the other and start marching. And because this shiny utopia I described to you is actually just a small familial village, it takes you approximately the length of 6 TikToks to get there. But also, this hypothetical in my brain takes place like 200 years ago, so if you watch TikTok, you would be burned at the stake. It would not be a good time for you. You probably should not do that. The only TikTok I watch is that Tana Mojo. Mwah! She's timeless. What's that other one? Charlie D'Amelio? So, if you live in 99.9% of the US, most of Canada, many parts of Southeast Asia, or a Walmart supercenter, you'll probably need a car to get where you need to go. Using your legs to get where you need to go is just not a very viable option. And not just because of your 4,000 calorie diet, but because your job is 19 miles away and there are no buses, there are no trains, there are no subways except for the Jared Fogle kind, and probably nowhere to even walk. Congrats, you need a car. Or at least like a really big dog. In 2011, I was 16 years old. Not yet even close to driving, I decided to walk every day to and from school. I lived on a hill. My school was on a steep-ass hill. All of my local drug dealers also live on hills, so that was a sucky detour. I live in a very hilly place. 2 miles, both ways. You think I'd be some kind of athlete. But I order Domino's every day. One day, there I was, walking home from school. It had already been a pretty atrocious day. I do just gotta come out and friggin' tell you. Not a single girl had looked at me, and all of my friends were making fun of me. So it was like every other day. But nay, I said, this day shalt be put behind me. I will go home and enjoy my PlayStation 3 and way too much unsupervised computer time. As I was crossing the street, someone from my high school drove past me, leaned out of his driver's side window, and yelled, "Out of the way, fat ass." It is then that I realized a lifelong lesson. Being a pedestrian fucking sucks. I feel as if there is no more universal experience than walking somewhere innocently, naively. You're just walking on the sidewalk, and somebody in a car decides to lean out and scream at you so they can see you jump. And if you know anything about me, I will make a complete ass out of myself every time. You're like me. You live in a place, you gotta get a car. Okay, so bada bing, bada boom. What are your options? What options you have besides the ravioli? The ravioli's for me. You get the ravioli too, you better start watching your wife's back. Cause it's fucking hairy and I'm grossed out. So go get a car. You have 2 good options. You go and you get a car. Or you just sit there and fucking die, I guess. So you go and you get a car. Congrats. You now own a motor vehicle. That'll be $49,000. If there is one lesson you will inevitably take during your miserable existence here, and yes, I'm talking to you, Kevin, it is that life is not fair. I'm reminded of this whenever I see an Instagram post about somebody's parents buying them their first car. Yeah, bitch. You got a spare tire? I've been running on a flat for 7 months. Some of us had to make it the old-fashioned way. Wait for our tax returns and buy a heaping pile of shit. My first car. I remember it like it was yesterday. A 2005 red car. I think it was a Chewy Chevrolet or something like that. Maybe it was a Buick. I spent $1,800 to buy it, and I worked at McDonald's at the time. So you do the math there. No Big Macs for a while. Life is hell. Is buying a $2,000 car a good idea? Learn from my mistakes, friends. Selling a $1 pizza is easy if you're selling it used. I'm sure that's been a real Facebook Marketplace listing at some point. My $2,000 car was special. It smelled like sardines. It sounded like a World War II documentary when you started it. And the trunk would come off the hinges, but damn it, I loved her as if she were my own daughter. And if she were my real daughter, I would sign her up for therapy immediately. It took about 5 months for this car to start having what I would describe as catastrophic problems. First of all, I noticed that a lot of my friends that had cars, you know, when they started driving, they'd get like this upswing of female attention. And like that didn't really happen with me, but I know for a fact it wasn't like my fault. Like it wasn't me. It wasn't like the way I looked or my personality or anything like that. Because none of those things weren't like bad. I know. Trust me. I know that wasn't a factor. That was not my looks or my personality or anything to do with me. That wasn't like that wasn't the reason. It was the car. It was definitely like it was definitely the car. It was the car. So that was number one. That it was the car that was making it so no girls would pay attention to me, and that was the car, and that's number one. So that sucked. But also there was a second problem, and this second problem. This is number two. Number two, this funny thing would happen, right? It's funny. It was funny. But it also made me cry multiple times. So, in a way, it's not funny. It's actually really bad. But it's funny. The heat gauge would suddenly, as I was driving, start cranking up. And as the heat gauge cranked up, smoke would begin bellowing from the hood of my car. I am not a car guy, but I am told that's not good. And the girl thing was definitely like, it was the car's fault. I think it was the car. I'd get a solid 15 minutes of use out of my car before this thing started cranking. And it would take about a half an hour for you to start to see the smoke. One day, I decided to go for a ride to clear my head. Little did I know, this would be the day where I would also almost lose my head. And it's a big head, so. See, this would be the day I would get stuck in traffic. Lucky me. I learned something that day. What happens when your engine cranks all the way to hot and stays there for an extended period of time? Your engine catches fire and your car explodes. This is the exact conversation I had with my boss. Hey, my car exploded. I don't think I can come to work tomorrow. Wow. You can't get a ride in? Well, I almost died, so... So you hurt? Well, no. I'm confused. What's the problem? The problem is I'm sitting on the side of the road. There is fire and smoke bellowing from the engine of my car. I'm still trying to catch my breath from the explosion, and there's teenagers taking pictures of me. Yeah, it's crazy. Sounds like they're unemployed. You can join them if you don't come in tomorrow. There are 3 types of people that emerge from a situation like this. They become homicidal, they become suicidal, or they decide to be the bigger person. Rise from the ashes like a phoenix and take life by the horns, because nobody is coming to save you. You are in a ditch, but you have the will, the determination, and a rope. So start climbing. I chose option 1. Worry not, my broke bitches, you do not need to buy a piece of shit. There is another way. All you need is a good credit score. Oh, you don't have any credit because you've always just decided to spend the money that you actually have and not a penny more? Nice. You can go fuck yourself. Nah, go and use a credit card for 3 months and report back, and you too can drive a decent car that won't break down in 2 hours. You just have to finance it for 6 years of your life. So that's what I'm doing now. My car won't even let me connect to Android Auto. I pay like $400 a month, and snow leopards are going extinct. It's a bad time to be alive. The silver lining is I can finally chill out on the road and relax and listen to some music, watch a Christopher Nolan film while swerving 90 miles per hour on the highway. All my favorite things. Unless that is, if you would like to drive at night or early in the morning, because holy fucking shit, these LED headlights are going to make me want to castrate myself. I swear to God, drivers of the world are so lucky that I don't know how to use power tools. Because if I did, I would nail a fucking mirror to the back of my car on my trunk so that you could see just how bright your light bulbs are. All I want to do is screw a mirror to the back of my car and watch twisted metal happen behind me. You do not need headlights with 400 billion lumens to see. If you do, I question if you should even be driving in the first place. I have found my dim headlights to be more than enough to see the road in front of me. I have never once felt like I needed my high beams to see at night. Meanwhile, the small-dicked firefighter behind me has decided that he can't get to his job without illuminating the entire city of Providence like it's the goddamn 4th of July! Driving can be a miserable fucking experience. Makes people broker. It is unsafe, and it is very depressing to sit around in traffic for an hour. A long-term goal of mine is to live in a nice, walkable neighborhood with all 10 of my children. I'm working on it. Women still find me repulsive. You know what? I think it's some leftover baggage from the car. Maybe one day we can live in a world where driving is optional, where communities are built around people and not machines. That's the future I see. I'm gonna go live in the jungle.